Why, hello there. It's Spoiler Piece Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. And now in my real voice, my name is Dave Riedel. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
And my name is Megan Kearns. My pronouns are she, her. I write and podcast for In Session Film. I'm a co-host of the Slashers podcast, member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and a member of Gallica, the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics.
Yowza.
Yeah.
Evan is not with us this week, so we hope you're having a good week, Evan. And I also, before we get into the movies we're going to be talking about, wanted to say over on our Patreon, it's Halloween, the day that this show is coming out. So we asked for the poll this month. Please choose between these 6 horror movies. And you all patrons chose Wes Craven's 1981 thriller horror movie, Deadly Blessing. And man, Megan and I had the best time talking about this fucking movie. We just had the best talk. This is not hyperbole or hyperbole, as the kids would say. This is us having a fucking hoot over on Patreon. So if you're not a patron, please consider becoming one. If you are a patron, it's so much fun. Stop listening to this show. Go listen to that one. Come back here. So the first thing I want to say, though, before I even talk about what movies we're talking about, we have a sponsor piece patron. We say, hey, Heather Sachs, thank you for being our sponsor piece patron.
Thanks, Heather.
And now, this week's movies on Spoiler Piece Theater. We are talking about the new Edward Berger, Colin Farrell film, Ballad of a Small Player. It's about a guy who's only 2 feet tall, but is a shredder on guitar. And then we are also talking about Hedda, which is not by Edward Berger. That's by Nia DaCosta. And so, slight confession, I didn't finish Ballad of a Small Player. And we will get to the reasons in a moment, but that's what we're going to talk about first. So, Ballad of a Small Player, directed by Edvard Berger, who directed one of my favorite movies, maybe my favorite movie of 2024. I don't remember where I ranked it exactly, but Conclave. Fucking great.
Oh, yeah, you loved Conclave. I mean, it is great. Conclave. It is a great movie.
And then there's Ballad of a Small Player. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I only watched the first 40 minutes because I checked it out. I actually watched the first 42 minutes. And then I gave up because I was like, what the fuck is this? And here's your one sentence IMDb plot summary. When his past and his debts start to catch up with him, a high-stakes gambler laying low in Macau encounters a kindred spirit who might just hold the key to his salvation. Like, who writes this shit? Anyway, Colin Farrell is the gambler. He isn't living in Macau. He is in, like, the suite. And he gets a bill under the door, and he's hungover, and he's like, fuck, I gotta go, like, earn a bunch of money, so I'm gonna go play Baccarat, which is, like, the worst. The only thing worse that you can do than play Baccarat is go fucking play roulette. I mean, like, there's just...
I feel like, Dave, you should tell everyone that you are kind of a gambling expert.
I know a lot about gambling.
Yeah, you're not just saying that's, I mean, it's all our opinions, of course, but you have experience.
Yes. There is no game in a casino where you, the player, have the edge. At best, playing blackjack, assuming that there are not, all kinds of weird variations, which there are. But if let's just say you're playing normal blackjack, you have about a 49.6% chance to beat the house every time. That's as good as it gets in the casino. And that translates to losing not much, like literally something like 30 cents an hour if you play high stakes. So you could go on a run. You could win a lot of money. Everything else, like Baccarat, like, what are you doing? What are you doing playing Baccarat? The rules of Baccarat are so... I just, like, face cards don't... whatever. He decides he's going to go play some Baccarat, And while he's there, he meets a woman who I guess she buys him a bottle of champagne. I don't remember how this goes. And she's like a loan shark.
Oh, the
And
loan shark. Yes, yes.
and she's talking shit with like the old woman who is beating the shit out of Colin Farrell at this game, by the way. She keeps getting like natural nines all the time. And it's like, stop playing when the old biddy is getting all the natural nines and you're getting jack shit, motherfucker. Um, and so then he goes he leaves her, he goes back to the hotel, and then he's sitting there. And I guess he's like having some lunch and he's trying to avoid the people who are telling him, you need to pay us off at the hotel within 3 days or we're going to have you arrested. And then you just see a body like sail down the side of the building, but it's kind of played for laughs. But then when they get down and he sees the body, it's not played for laughs. It's played kind of straight. And it's like, what
Mm-hmm.
is this movie? So I watched it for another half hour or so. And then at the end of that, I was like, yeah, I still don't know what the fuck this is. Is this supposed to be funny? Is it supposed to be tragedy? Is it a farce? Is it a serious drama? Megan, what is this movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you finished it, right?
I did. I did finish it. I kind of think it's all of those things. I think it has a dark comedic streak running through it. I think it's a psychological drama. Um, yeah. I mean, I would say it's mostly about his gambling addiction
Right.
and how that has completely fucked up his life and how he is essentially a fraud because so the first thing you notice when you're watching is that this character is very flashily dressed
Mm.
and he wears these gloves that are his lucky gloves that he says he got in on Savoy Row in London and but he didn't because one of the other characters points out actually the loan shark lady, she says, I noticed you got those like in China. And so he's very much a fraud. But the first thing I noticed was like, oh, he's speaking in a British accent. That's interesting. And he calls himself Lord, whatever his name is, Lord Freddie.
Yeah, I was gonna
Lord
say
Freddie.
Lord Fauntenoy, but yeah.
I was gonna say that too, and I'm like, no, 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 that's wrong. In my brain, I'm like, no, no, no. So anyway, so yeah, so it's very clear this is all performative, and it is because towards the end of the film, he switches to his regular Irish accent, and that's Lord Freddie Doyle is obviously not his name, and he has another name. It's I think it's Brendan, whatever it is, Brendan Doyle.
Brendan Irishman.
Brendan Thomas Riley. Yes, that's
Okay.
it. Or Brendan Irishman. But yeah, so there's a performativity to him throughout the whole film or most of the film. And he's very deep into his gambling addiction and which has just basically destroyed his whole life. But yeah, so I don't know exactly where you stopped watching, Dave, but the
I think
loan
I think it was when Tilda Swinton showed up the first time. I was like, I'm
Oh,
out.
okay. Yeah. So the loan shark is Dao Ming, and she wants to loan him money because, and she says that it's because she can tell he's a lost soul. And then Tilda Swinton shows up, yes, and she is Betty, and she pretends she's not, but eventually she reveals he gets I'm like stumbling over my words talking about this because everybody has like dual identities.
Mm.
And so she's just like, I'm just a tourist. And he's like, bullshit, because she takes a selfie in an elevator and he happens to be in the selfie and he like tries to cover his face and then he follows her into the women's restroom and he's like, you need to delete that picture. And she's like, I'm just a tourist, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, you're full of shit. And he's like, you're not supposed to take pictures in the casino. And so you have
That
to
is
give me,
true.
and he's like, you have to give me $500 or else. And like, so then come to find out, he pegs her that she's been hired to tail him. And yes, she is a private investigator. And so then, sorry, there's a lot of like running around and he ends up with Dao Ming, the loan shark, and then he like passes out because he starts having these massive health problems, and it seems like he might be having a stroke or a heart attack or something severe. And then Dao Ming helps him. She took him to the hospital, and they spend like a night on the beach together where they like start opening up about like awful things they did, like how she stole money and he stole money, and they bond. And she takes him on like a small boat to her home, and he finds this money. Oh, and then she also disappears in the middle of the night. I forgot when they spend time on the beach. But she like writes numbers on his hand, and then later when they meet up, she's like, "Oh, that's a test." And he finds money at her place, and then he's going to use it so he can gamble more. Always a good idea. So he
Mm.
can like pay her back and pay off her debts and pay off his own debts. So that's like the plan. And so he goes to the hotel where he's not supposed to be gambling, and he gambles like huge, and he wins, and he keeps winning and winning and winning. And things are wild because people are like, "Oh my god, you're winning." And then he gets pulled into like the private room, and cuz the security camera people are watching him, and they basically accuse him of cheating, and he's like, "You think I cheated?" He's like, I didn't, and I don't know why you think that." And then the guy says to him, "Well, you have a ghost who's telling you the the cards." And he's like, "What?" And there's like this whole theme about this hungry ghost because there's like a ghost festival happening at the time, and Dao Ming called him like a hungry ghost, and how nothing will ever fill him up. And so you're kind of like, okay, is this real? Is this metaphorical? What's happening? And so he pays off his debts at the hotel. He pays everything back. And then they start being nice to him again because he has paid so much. And then he goes to the other casino where Dao Ming was, and the old lady who beat him mercilessly, and she's like, "Play me again." And she's like, and I wish you had seen this part only because you would describe it better than I could, because she says some kind of like bonkers bet that he's like, "You can't be serious. That's the most wild bet ever." And she's like, "Do you want to walk out of here with the 3 suitcases or 5 suitcases, however many he has full of money? Do you want to walk out of here with 5 suitcases or 500?" And so he's really tempted to play again and gamble because he's like, "I'm never gambling again." And then when she says the odds or whatever, he's like really tempted. And then he's like, "No, I need to pay." He's like, "I need to look for Dao Ming. I need to give her back her money." And she's like, "What are you talking about? She doesn't work here anymore." And he's like, "Okay, well, where is she?" And she's like, "She's dead." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "She's dead. She killed herself on the first night of the ghost festival or whatever." And he's like, "No, no, but we were on the beach. We spent a night together. She took me to her home." And the woman's like, "I don't know what to tell you. She's dead." And so then he has like kind of like a breakdown, and he's going through reliving all of these memories where he was talking to her and he collapsed, but he's all alone. He's not talking to anybody. So did he hallucinate? Was she a ghost? Who knows? And so then he has all this money. He now can't pay off Dao Ming's debts because she's dead. So he runs through the streets, and he takes it to a temple where there's a fire, a huge fire burning, and he burns all the money. And yeah, that's it. And then during the credits, he dances with Tilda Swinton because at one point he said, like, "We should go dancing sometime," or something.
It sounds awful.
I mean, yeah, this was a rough watch. This was a rough watch. I will say, I always love Colin Farrell,
Hmm.
even when it's a bad movie or a movie I don't enjoy. I did really like the cinematography. I think so. The cinematography by James Friend, he also did Edward Berger's All Quiet on the Western Front.
Hmm.
And so I think the cinematography is gorgeous. I love the neon drenched lights of Macau, and there are some interesting camera angles going on. But yeah, this is a rough watch. This was a rough one, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I
Yeah, it
think the ending is a little bit better, but
doesn't really sound like
yeah.
it adds up to much, though.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I
I'm
think you're supposed to feel like, oh, he's not a gambling addict anymore. He's now free from the burdens of money. I don't know how the hell he's going to live. And that's what I kept thinking about is like the logistics of this. Like, well, what's he going to do now?
Yeah, well, and also just like they were a ghost the whole time. Like, haven't we seen enough of those stories? I
Maybe.
mean,
Yeah.
it's incredibly disappointing.
Yeah. But you don't actually know if she's a ghost.
Well, she was there the first night for real, I guess.
Yes, yes,
Like
yes.
they
She
definitely
was
met
there
and he
for
didn't, yeah.
yes. He didn't hallucinate the whole thing. But yeah, right, she could be a ghost. She could be a hallucination of his brain. Like who knows? Maybe he has
Maybe he's having a
a
stroke.
tumor. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he's having a stroke. Totally. So I mean, his health is clearly failing him throughout the movie. Um, yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it really adds up to much. You said that, and I don't. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think Colin Farrell and the cinematography are good, and that's sadly about it.
You know, it's interesting that you speak highly of the cinematography because it drove me insane at the beginning.
Did
Like
it?
I love the
Okay.
exterior shots of Macau because it
Yeah.
Macau really is beautiful at night. Now I've
Mhm.
never been there. I'm only judging this from photos and
Yeah.
whatever.
Right, totally.
I mean, it's kind of the same way Las Vegas is beautiful at night, but Macau's
Yeah.
better looking.
Yeah, it is. I know at first I thought we were in Vegas and I was like, "Wow." I was like, "Vegas looks so beautiful."
I was
And then I
like,
was like,
wow,
"Oh
Vegas
no, it's
got
Macau."
bigger too. What the
Yeah,
hell?
right? And I was
Um,
like, "Oh no, we're in Macau." Okay.
yeah, for a minute I was like, oh, we're in Vegas, and then I was like, wait, that's not Vegas because I've been there just
Right?
enough to know. So I yeah, the cinematography, the extreme contrast between the sort of the neon-ness of things, and then it would plunge into darkness when he's, like, walking through hallways, and then it would get, like,
Yeah.
really, really bright again in a really irritating non-Stanley Kubrick kind of way. Because you know how Kubrick did that? But there was something
Yeah.
like I mean, his movies looked great or do look great, and but they're so strange looking, most of them, because there's so many
Yes.
hot spots in all of his I mean, I think off the top of my head, the only movie I can think of his that isn't full of hot spots is The Shining. The Shining is relatively flat, you know,
Mm.
I mean, that's not to say that the lighting is flat in it like, "Oh, the lighting's flat," but it's I mean, think of Eyes Wide Shut and just all the bright
Mhm.
lights in
Mhm.
Eyes
No,
Wide
you're
Shut
right. Yeah.
next to those really dark spots, but you can still
Mhm.
see
Mhm.
everything, and even though it should be blown out, it's not blown out, you know? It's this
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
had, like, a gift for, like, towing the line.
Yeah.
I feel like this not that they were doing this intentionally or even thought of Kubrick at all. They took the wrong lessons from that gift, and it was too bright and then too dark and then too bright and then too and, like, in the first 10 minutes, I was like, "Can we stop?" Like, when he's walking to the Baccarat game, I'm just like,
Mhm.
"Seriously, I'm gonna like, I don't have epilepsy, and I'm gonna have an epileptic moment here. I don't know like, this is really bizarre. It's really bizarre it was bizarre for me. I found it really unappealing. And then him waking up with what kind of felt like he was having a heart attack to wake up every morning. I was
Mhm.
just like, "Can we this is just I don't like this. This is unpalatable to me." So,
Yeah. I mean, that's the point, but
I
yeah.
know, but it felt more it felt so performative that was really irritating.
Yes. Yes, that I can definitely see. I
As you
can
know, I
definitely
like my
see.
naturalism more than I like my fantastical. So,
Yeah, this is much more stylized in that way. It is not naturalistic in any way. So,
yeah.
yeah, I can see why this absolutely did not work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I that's the thing is that I get what it's going for because those contrasts and that the heightened stylized visuals and color palettes and wardrobe and productions, all of it is working towards this character who is fake and
Mm.
who has built his identity and his life on lies and an illusion. And so I get that, but then it's not like it really falls away by the end visually. Like it feels still very heightened and performative. And so it's like, well, wait, shouldn't it get more, shouldn't we have more realism as the film goes on? And instead it seems to ramp it up
Yeah.
in the other direction. So it's a strange choice. So I liked the cinematography in the sense that I found it visually striking and held my interest. Sadly, because too many films look murky these days.
Yeah.
But I
I can think of
agree
one that
with
we're going to be
you.
talking about later. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well,
Shots fired.
oh, we're gonna have some disagreements then. Um, but I don't think the style worked for the theme and the character of the film. I think it should have shifted.
Yeah, I kind of feel like a good benchmark for using cinematography to echo the emotions that you want the movie to carry is
Mm-hmm.
somebody who did that really well was Sidney Lumet. He did that really well. A lot of times, his lighting and in particular his use of lenses
Mm-hmm.
really were dialed into what scene he was telling in that scene at the moment or the overarching themes. And I feel like there's not a lot of that. There's just too much like this looks cool. Or in this case, it's like, oh, we're in Macau. Hello, my baby. Hello, my
hello,
honey.
my, hello, my ragtime gal.
So yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
No,
No.
no. Yeah, it's a weird movie in that I don't really have a lot to say.
Well, okay then. I have a
And
feeling.
I was gonna
Oh,
say, just wait, I'm sorry, I do have one more last thing. I find films about obsession and addiction fascinating, and I think that's why this is really a bummer because you have such a great actor, you have a filmmaker who made such an exceptional film just previously,
yeah.
and yeah, it just didn't work, didn't come together. But sorry, please continue.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, our next movie, I feel like you're probably gonna have more to say about, and that is what is it called? Hedda. I know what it's called. This is Nia DaCosta's latest. This stars Tessa Thompson and I can't remember her name, so I'll scroll down here. Nina Haas, who I think is in one of the best movies of two. She's in two great movies in the past decade. She's in Barbara and then Phoenix, both great German movies. Stars Imogen Poots, who I can't remember the last time I saw her. When was the last time we saw Imogen Poots? It's been a while.
I just saw her not that long ago.
I feel like I saw her not that long ago too, but before that, I feel like the last time I saw her was Green Room. So,
She was just in the movie All of You with I can't think of his name, Brett Goldstein.
see, I didn't see that, but I'm sure I've heard of it. Anyway, and then there are lots of other people that you have seen before. And this is Ibsen's Hedda Glaber? I don't know.
Gabler?
Hedda Gabler, that's it. And so this movie is basically like a battle of wills over the course of the night. And I will say I didn't have a problem. I had kind of criticized the cinematography before we got into this. And I think that this is a problem when you watch movies at home. Your TV has different ideas of where your movie is supposed to be set than you do. And I got a lot of what's that?
No, I think that might be the problem.
I think that was the problem because I had a
Yeah.
lot of shadows that I don't think were supposed to be there. I think this was supposed to
Yes.
feel more like, Gordon Willis kind of thing, and it felt like somebody who's the darks were just a little bit too dark, but not because they underlit or whatever, just because like I was in filmmaker mode when I should have been in dynamic mode. I don't even know what all the fucking names of the modes are on my TV that I was watching this on. This is a big fucking TV where I shouldn't have this problem. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, let me give you the one sentence IMDb summary. Megan's favorite thing. Um, Henrik Ibsen's renowned stage drama from 1891 is reimagined in an epic and emotional way. I mean, it's pretty epic. Is it emotional? I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel now I see this look on your face. And I'm going to let you take the lead on this one because I feel like this movie is more up your alley than it's up mine. Because one, this is clearly a photographed stage play, which is one of my least favorite one of my least favorite types of movies. Movies that don't necessarily translate well from the stage to the screen because you got your one setting, you got your now granted this is a big fucking house and they move all over the place and things like that, but it's kind of like even though Glenn Ross is a very dynamic movie, it's always a stage play, you know?
Mhm.
So I just kind of always feel that in the back of my head. Also, I like the performers in this movie, but there's a lot of acting in this movie. Like, and when I say acting, I mean master thespian action. I mean there's acting in this movie. This is a movie where people are acting. Those are not necessarily bad things, but those are not really my things. So I think it's perhaps more fair. Now, I don't know whether you liked this or not, but it's perhaps more fair to let you sort of talk about how you felt about it. Plus, I think this movie is also a little bit too cute for its own good. So
Okay,
it's a little cute.
okay. I I think we should talk about the plot first.
Yes,
We
of
should get that
course.
out of the way. I will talk about the plot, but I will give it with the caveat that I personally feel like I am the worst at giving plots because I don't like talking
We
about
we can
plots
do a
weirdly.
joint plot. You can kind of
Okay,
do and I'll if I feel the
sure.
need to step in and be like
Yeah, please
tighten it
do.
up,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, cuz I just yeah, for some reason I don't like talk. I like when someone else talks about the plot and I like filling in, but yeah. So anyway, but yeah,
Um,
let's forge ahead.
well, should I maybe preface this with this is a psychological battle of wills?
You did say that.
Did I say
You
that?
said you did. You said
Oh,
it's a battle of wills.
okay. See, I forgot.
You see, you were 2 steps ahead of yourself already. So, yeah, so we start off with this and Hedda, who is played by Tessa Thompson, is the protagonist. Um, Hedda is trying to commit suicide, and she's coming out of the water. She has stones in her pockets, and her husband has called to her, or someone has called to her, that she has a phone call. And so she quickly gets out of the water, walks into the house, and takes the phone call. And she finds out that somebody is coming to this party. She's there, the house is getting ready for this enormous party that she and her husband are throwing. And so she finds out that person is coming, and then she's going through the house and was like, no, no flowers here. No, not this rug, this other rug. So you can tell she's very, very precise, very specific about what she wants and how she wants things to look. So then the party starts, and her husband is a professor, and he's trying to get um, a larger job. He's trying to get like a permanent professor position or something. Is it? Am I right in that? Some
It
kind
would
of
be
like
it would be like the equivalent of us of a professor here getting tenure or being on tenure
yeah, yeah.
track.
Thank you. Perfect. So her husband wants to talk to his boss, and his boss is bringing his very young wife, which is like
I mean, when I saw
immediately
that, I
like I
was
was
like,
like,
"Good lord!"
wow.
And then what happens later?
Yeah,
I was like,
wow.
"Not a surprise, not a
Right,
surprise."
right, right, right. Totally. So yeah, so that's her husband's plan, and her husband, meanwhile, is very concerned about Hedda's, as he says, bohemian friends coming and not behaving. And she's like, "Don't worry, they've been around high class people before. They'll be fine. They'll be fine." And there's a lot of whispering in hallways, a lot of dark corner conversations, and Hedda is the daughter of a general, and she has a judge who is not a friend, but who is someone who knew her father and who has agreed. to oversee her well-being, and also is constantly trying to make the moves on her and sleep with her.
Mm,
And she may be sleeping with him, she may not be. And she clearly likes to tease, and
clearly.
she, yeah, very much likes to play mind games with people. And so this party is underway and everyone's having a decent time. And then all of a sudden, this woman shows up, played by Imogen Poots, this woman, Thea, who Hedda went to school with years and years ago. And she's there because a professor is going to come, and Professor Eleanor, and played by the illustrious Nina Haas, who is
Mm.
amazing in everything. I love Nina
She's
Haas as
so great.
well. So
I
great.
didn't even
So
love this
great.
so much, and I'm like, boy, Nina Haas is pretty fucking good.
Nina Haas, oof, always brings it. Love Nina
Yep.
Haas. By the way, if you want to see a good horror movie with Nina Haas,
Mm-hmm.
Pelican Blood.
Pelican
It's
Blood.
Yeah, it's a
What a
freaky
name.
film. It's a freaky film. Yeah, anyway, it's great. And she's great in it. And she's great in everything. So anyway, so Thea is here to see Professor Eleanor, and because she wants to make sure she doesn't get into trouble because she has a drinking problem. Not
Mm,
Thea, Professor Eleanor.
yeah.
And so Hedda immediately whisks her away because she's dressed in like normal everyday clothes. And we should say this is set in what, the 40s, the 20s,
I mean, I would have. I thought like
the
flapper times. The
yeah, so that'd be
Roaring
the 20s.
'20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is set in the 1920s. So anyway, but Thea's wearing kind of like everyday clothes. So she's like, "Come with me upstairs and I'll get you a dress." So she gets Thea in a dress, and it's very clear that Hedda was kind of a bully to Thea when they were young.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hedda's asking her all kinds of questions about Eleanor and asking her about herself because Thea has left her husband. So then go downstairs, have dinner, the party resumes, and then Eleanor finally shows up. And as she shows up, we go to dolly zoom mode because it is very clear immediately that Hedda is enamored and obsessed with Eleanor, played by Nina Haas. And you then find out very quickly that they had a love affair, a very tumultuous and tempestuous one. And Eleanor is now in a relationship with Thea. And Hedda is clearly distraught and pissed off about this. So Eleanor is there to give her manuscript to the head of the department so she can get the tenure that Hedda's husband is also up for. And that causes a whole clusterfuck because Hedda has all kinds of machinations and manipulations going on, and the party is going on, and people are getting wilder and rowdier and drunker, and people are having sex in the bushes of the hedge maze,
Oh yeah.
and people are going skinny dipping in the lake, and all kinds of wild things. So throughout the whole night, Hedda is trying to goad Eleanor into drinking, and Eleanor's like, "Nope, I'm not interested. Nope, I'm not interested. Nope, I'm not interested." Until Hedda manipulates her by saying, "You may work with the men, but they don't really take you seriously unless you act like them." And it Eleanor has she's very confident about herself and her brain, her intellectual capacity, but this is clearly a sore subject. And so she does have a drink, especially after Hedda mentions that Thea was very worried about her and was like kind of quote babysitting her, which Eleanor's pissed off about. And so then Eleanor gets drunk, like drunk, and then starts behaving wildly and kind of erratically, and also like she goes swimming and then enters a room with the men, and like her dress is see-through so you see her nipples, and like Hedda sees this and doesn't stop it. So clearly this is all like Hedda's thrilled that all of this chaos is happening, and because she's so hurt that Eleanor has moved on without her. And so, anyway, one thing leads to, and Eleanor's research is all about sex and kind of the future of sex. So, there's a whole conversation about that. But basically, oh, and then the guy who is the head of the department, he finds earlier in the night, he finds his wife having sex with somebody else in the hedge mage bushes. And then he takes a gun and tries to shoot the guy in the party. And Hedda stops him. But what he does is he shoots these enormous glass chandelier, and that comes crashing down.
Yep.
And so you also find out from the housekeeper that this house is lavish and this party is lavish, but they don't have any money. They're broke. This is like their last big to do, because the housekeeper is like talking to somebody else and how everybody there is not staff except for her, and played by Catherine Hunter. And so, anywho, back to the party. Everything's going awry. Fast forward. Oh, and then Hedda has stolen Eleanor's manuscript and has hidden it. And so Eleanor starts freaking out and she starts insulting Thea, saying just horrible things to her. And then Thea kind of unleashes on her, like, you're a mess, you're a disaster. And Eleanor is like, your life doesn't mean anything, like, just awful things. And the whole time, Hedda's just like sitting back, like she has the manuscript locked away. And then later, she has a conversation with Eleanor, and Eleanor is just utterly distraught. And oh, I should say this is after she's burned her manuscript, because Hedda, her husband, walks in and finds her burning the manuscript. And he's like, what are you doing? Because he's so horrified that she would destroy somebody else's work, even though he's in competition with her. And she's like, I'm doing it for us. And then she lies that she's pregnant, and just so he'll be like, oh my god, we need to, I need to take care of you, both of you. And so after the party, the next morning, Hedda gives Eleanor a gun because she loves guns, because her father was a general and has lots of guns. And so she gives Eleanor a gun so Eleanor can kill herself, which Eleanor tries to do, but she can't do it. She starts crying and can't do it. And then she's walking through the house and outside, and then one of Eleanor's friends like runs up to her, and Eleanor shoots herself and in the stomach. And
Almost
she's
seems
not,
like it's an accident.
it does. It very much seems like it's an accident. And she's not dead. She's unconscious. And you find out before the complete end of the movie that she has woken up. But before she's woken up yet, Hedda's husband and Thea are conversing and trying to piece together the manuscript, because Thea was a co-writer of this manuscript. So Thea has a lot invested in this too, in this research. And yeah, then the judge guy tries to blackmail Hedda and rape her. And she tells him to fuck off. And then she runs away. And then he tries to choke her and she gets him off of her. And yeah, and then,
Then she tries to kill herself again.
yep. And then she kills her. Well, she tries to kill herself. Yes.
And then she hears that,
Eleanor has
has
woken up.
woken up, and she's
Yes.
and it ends with a little smirk on her face, and like, I hate that. I hate that.
Yes, but I wasn't thinking of you when I was watching.
I know,
But
I know.
yes.
But this is one of the reasons I wanted you to sort of tell this, because like I would just be doing all the asides
You'd be
within this
snarky,
bullshit
yeah.
and the snark and the fucking acting
Yeah.
in this scene. Because here's why I mentioned the acting, by the way. You have now, I think Tessa Thompson is quite fine most of the
I
time.
love Tessa Thompson.
I do too. I think my favorite role of hers, I don't know if you'll agree or not. I love her. I think that she's the best thing about Creed, aside from Stallone. I think that she and Stallone, Michael B. Jordan's fine, but I think that her character in that is what gives it, along with Rocky, most of its humanity. Not so much
Yeah, I
Michael B.
agree with that.
Jordan's.
That's not her best performance, in my opinion, but yeah, it's a great performance.
But she's
I
terrific.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she's just she embodies the right performative attitude for that movie, I guess is the way I would put it. And in this, I just feel like now Hedda is like this. Hedda is a performance artist.
Yes.
But it still feels like Tessa Thompson. To me, it still feels like Tessa Thompson is being a performance artist because Hedda is a performance artist. Does that make sense? It's like I
It
can
does.
see.
I don't agree at all, but I totally understand what you're saying.
And then you see someone like Nina Haas, who is so effortless in everything she does and is
Mhm.
so naturalistic in everything she does, even when
Yes,
other
she
people are
is.
acting their asses off. And
Mhm.
it's just like, this is what I want to see. I want to see this battle of wills, but subtle, you know? So,
Oh,
or more subtle.
yeah. This is not that movie.
No, this is not that movie.
This is not that movie at all. It's not a subtle movie.
And I mean, it's not like I want to see Dangerous Liaisons either, but like, uh, which is to say quieter.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
not as
necessarily not. I mean, that's a showy. In particular, the one with Malkovich and Glenn Close. It's very showy, but in a very different way.
yeah.
Um, whereas this was just like, I mean, like the theatricality of it, I couldn't really see around, which is not the movie's fault. You know, and it's not really my fault. It's just like your mileage may vary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 everybody brings their own interests and biases to the
Yeah.
screen, to the table. So yeah, no, that's nobody's fault.
But also,
Oh,
pretty much all of the characters in this are just so despicable. It's just kind of like, I really don't. I think I've
oh,
had enough of this in my life this year. This has been a long
okay.
2025, and I don't really need to see people being nice to each other, but I also just
Mhm.
don't want to see like evil, you know?
Well, I don't
I
think
don't think
anybody
Hedda's evil. I don't think she's
I was gonna
evil.
say, I don't think anybody except the judge is evil in this.
Right.
Yeah. I just have to say, because I have not shared what I think of this movie
I would
yet,
love to hear it.
I fucking loved it.
See,
I
I knew
loved
that. I
it.
knew
I
it.
loved every fucking moment. Give it to me, inject it into my veins. I loved this movie. Give it, give it, give it. First of all, it has all the right things. I do love Nia DaCosta as a filmmaker. I love, 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 love Tessa Thompson. Love Nina Haas. Amazing. Imogen Poots, she's great too.
She was
Um,
in a different movie too. I mean, from
I don't agree, but sure.
well, okay, not a
But anyway,
different
I want to
movie.
get back to what I like about
Yeah.
this.
No, no, no. Yeah,
And-
go. I'm sorry.
that's okay. But I love the themes. I love Henrik Ibsen. I love Ibsen as a playwright. A Doll's House is one of my favorite plays. I love it. I love the themes of being confined and trapped and how women are trapped in society and misogyny and a capitalist patriarchal society and how scathing of a critique that is. And I love that this takes that play from the late 1800s and brings it up a little bit, but also makes it queer as hell.
Mm,
I am obsessed. I am obsessed because Hedda is not only trapped in a loveless marriage, she's not only trapped because she has no money in a society that values wealth, and she clearly values luxury and wealth, but she's also trapped because she's trapped by her own queerness and the in a very heteronormative society. And it's interesting. You're talking about how Nina Haas is so naturalistic, and she absolutely is. That's very much her style, which she's brilliant. She's a brilliant actor. And Tessa Thompson in this is very performative. And yes, I agree with you that Hedda is very much a theatrical character. But the moment for me when the veil drops and you see the, I guess, real
oh, I
Hedda.
I know what scene you're gonna say too.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
do.
You might. I don't know. You probably do know, actually. I'm not, yeah. I don't know why I'm like playing coy. It's the scene where her and Hedda and Eleanor are talking, and Hedda asks, if I had been brave and could have been with you, could we have done this? Could we have built something? We could have had a life. And Eleanor's like, no, we would have destroyed each other. Like, no, we were a disaster. We were a mess. And and she talks so highly about Thea and how Thea made her be a better person and grounds her and la 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 all that. And Hedda is just destroyed. And you can
She's
see it.
truly devastated.
Yeah, she
Yes.
is devastated. And you can see that. And it's very brief. It's very subtle. And to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is who Hedda is. She is wounded, she is hurt, and she's just lashing out at like everyone. And yeah, she's terrible. She's a terrible person, but I love that she's a terrible person. I am here for her ability.
You
And the fact, Oh,
You want to know
yes.
the scene that I liked best in this movie?
Ooh, tell me. Yeah, yeah.
That scene where they were just
It's
like
so
where Hedda
good.
was just dialed down and just
Yeah.
being a person for like the 4 minutes that scene is, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I was watching it going like, well, this is gonna end.
Yeah, there's no way that's gonna continue. No
Yeah.
way, no
It was
way.
my
She's
favorite
gotta
scene.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an amazing scene.
It's a
Yeah, but
great
that
scene.
yeah, that armor has to go back up, you know? I mean, she's the fact that we start with her suicidal ideation, I'm like, good God, like this woman is a mess. And I feel so bad for her. But also, I'm like, what are you doing? You're destroying your love, the person you claim to love. You're destroying their life work. You're, manipulating them into starting up their alcoholism again. Like, you're a horrible person. Like, and she also, like, earlier when they were together, like, tried to shoot her. And, like, it's a mess.
Mm,
But I find her a fascinating character. I found this utterly riveting. I loved it. I loved the moody cinematography. I loved how sumptuous and lush the costumes are and the production design. That
very
house is
lush.
incredible. And I love the score by Hildur Gudnadottir, which I hope I pronounced that correctly. But she's an incredible composer, and I loved the score and how chaotic and jazzy that score is, which I feel like fits the bohemian nature of Hedda and her circle of friends,
For sure.
but also her own unraveling. So I loved this. And I also love a melodrama. Love a melodrama.
Now,
Give
see,
me a
I don't love
good.
melodrama.
I know,
See,
I know. Give me a good melodrama and I am hooked. So I loved this.
you know what I spent the most time thinking about after I finished watching the movie, other than I told Megan 9:30, and it's like, it's like 9:37. Is I'm watching the closing credits because I knew there wouldn't be a post-credit sequence, but the music in the movie is really good, and so I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
I just want to hear what goes on. And then
Oh, I
"Love
love
Is the
that.
Drug" comes on by Roxy Music, and I'm listening to it, but I start humming "Double Vision" by Foreigner in my head, and today was the day I realized that Foreigner stole "Love Is the Drug" for Double Vision.
That's quite an epiphany.
Because I just heard Double Vision a couple of days ago, like randomly on
Yeah.
Spotify. So
Yeah.
I was just like, wait a minute. The melody for the verse from Love Is the Drug is the chorus for Double Vision. This is fuck you, Mick
Wow.
Jones, you piece of shit. And it's
Ah.
not like it's, just like an unconscious, it's like when you listen to, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison, it's the Shirelles. And then once you know that, you hear do like all the time. But you would never, unless you heard them back to back, you would never do that.
Yeah.
But I heard Double Vision like 3 days ago, and I haven't heard Love Is the Drug, by the way, in decades. And I was like, wait a minute. And
You're like, I
I'm
know
not even a Roxy
this.
Music Authority. I just like so anyway, I was just like, all right, So aside from I gotta get to the mic because I told Megan I would, and I was thinking about Double Vision. I'm glad you liked this though. I'm glad that this was right up your alley.
It was. I know. I wish you had liked it more too, but it totally makes. I wasn't thinking of you while watching it. I was too enamored. I was like, "This is great," but it makes sense that because it is so theatrical and melodramatic, it totally makes sense why this was not your cup of tea.
And I was in theater
Absolutely.
too. Like, what the hell? What happened to me?
I know, right?
Yeah. I don't really, and I don't know Ibsen well enough to say, oh, this is an Ibsen play. I don't,
Right?
I think I've seen A Doll's House once, so,
Oh, I love A Doll's
um,
House.
and, did we do Little Woods on the show,
I
or
think you guys did before I came on. Yeah.
before you? Yeah. I know we did Candyman,
Mhm.
the Candyman remake,
Mhm.
and The Marvels, which
Mhm.
is a very different movie from Nia DaCosta's other
It is. Yeah.
bodies, the other films in her body of work.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, Nia DaCosta is an interesting filmmaker.
Mhm.
I wouldn't ever say that she's boring, and I
Mm-mm.
mean, she makes choices. which
Yes.
now I appreciate that in any filmmaker. It's just like, these are choices I am making,
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
don't think they panned out. And I think we were all were we all kind of lukewarm on Candyman, or we were like, it's good, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, I liked Candyman. I think there's some issues, but yeah. But you know what's funny? I think it's one of those that the more I've thought about it, the more I've liked it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to have that problem with the Marvels, but
Oh, I love the Marvels. I think it's an utter delight.
I sort of remember it, kinda. I just remember
Yeah,
there's three of them, which
I
is
had so much fun with it, and I thought it was just a delightful time. Yeah.
well. What else do you want to say about Hedda? Because there's got to be something.
Uh-oh, the pressure's on. I just think I am so fascinated by a film that, or any story, but especially a film that explores women's rage,
Mm,
women's confinement. I think the addition of making Hedda a queer character, changing the gender, Eleanor's character, who is like, I can't think of the person's name, but it's a guy
mm,
in Ibsen's play. And Nina Haas's character, Eleanor, is a woman here, but changing the gender, making her queer, making her a black woman. And there's a very stray passing comment where someone says it's the young wife of the head of the professor, the head of the department, and she's like, I didn't know she would be so dusky. And I'm like, oh my God, like, geez, that's
yeah.
racist. Like, lady, get yourself together. But yeah, so I think changing her queerness, changing her race, I think that adds extra layers of her confinement. And I also think about like a film like Passing, which is
Mm,
such a beautiful film and I'm obsessed with. I love that film so much. And Tessa Thompson is playing a similarly confined character in a much more restrained role,
yeah, very
restrained
much.
character, very subtle. But I just I find these stories so fascinating and anger inducing, and there's something cathartic, even though Hedda is a terrible person, and she's terrible, but there's something so cathartic about her trying to navigate her own path and trying to assert her independence and her agency through these terrible means. And I'm just obsessed. I just love
I'll buy that. I'll go along with that.
it. That's fair.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and hearing you talk about it. I mean, I can. This is what I talked about movies. It's so much fun because
It's
it's
true
like I
though.
understand everything where you're coming from. It's just kind of interesting what works for you and doesn't work for me, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
I agree. I agree.
So, all right. Do you have any closing thoughts on Hedda?
Oh my God, just that it's great and I can't wait to watch it again.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then let's wrap up this here episode of Spoiler Piece Theater. I'm obviously going to say pass on Ballad of a Small Player.
Oh, yeah. It saddens me because Colin Farrell's so great, but yeah, I would say watch another Colin Farrell film.
You know what I always appreciate about Colin Farrell? Colin Farrell is always giving 100%. He
Yes.
never, whether you're
Yes.
on board with his character or the movie or whatever, one thing you know is that
Yes.
Colin Farrell came to work every day and he's like, I'm making a fucking movie today.
Yes, he
you
is
know?
committed. I could not agree
Yeah.
more. I know that's why I almost want to recommend this movie just because of him and he's so good in this and he's just so good as an actor and he makes such interesting choices in what films he wants to be in.
Yeah.
But this movie is just no.
Well, I think the best thing that happened to him is when he decided to stop trying to be a movie star,
Yeah,
you know?
yes, 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 yes. And he started doing like quirky, weird role. Yes, I could not agree more. I
Yeah.
could not agree
I mean,
more.
what was the one, the Banshees of Inisherin? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I love
Just
the
the
Banshees of
most
Inisherin.
fascinating film, and his performance
Yes.
is just so.
Ah,
I mean, the whole time you're just watching it, going like, "Is this guy as dumb as I think he is?" And you're like, "No, this guy has made these choices,
yeah.
and
Oh,
like on purpose, and he knows what they mean the whole
yeah.
time. He knows what they
Oh,
mean." You
He's a
know,
sweetheart in that
I
movie. I
know,
love
I know.
him.
And at the same time, you feel bad for fucking Brendan Gleeson, even though he's the worst fucking person.
He is, but you do. You
Yeah,
feel so bad for him because it's like, what do you do when you're plugging along in your life and you're like, I hate my life. I need to start making some tough choices.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie so much.
it's a
It's so
great
good.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that Brendan Gleeson thanks him for saving his dog, and the way that
Oh,
Colin Farrell just says, I think he says anytime.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just like the heartbreak in those two sentences or
Mm.
whatever. These two broken men.
That movie is just one gut punch after
It
another.
really is.
And I love everything about it. Oh my God, I want to rewatch that right now too.
Anyway, you
It's
would
so
recommend
good.
Hedda. No, you wouldn't recommend Hedda. You'd say skip it. It's no good.
Yeah, it's terrible. No, of course I would. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would definitely
And
say
I
I
would
would
say
definitely recommend it.
this is a true your mileage may vary. I really don't know that
That is fair. Yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
best person to advise you on this, so. Alrighty. Well, that is this episode of Spoiler Piece Theater. We say a whole bunch of stuff here at the end of the show. One, we want to thank our editor, Otto Clammer, for being our editor week in and week out. Thank you, Otto.
Thanks, Otto.
You can find Spoiler Piece Theater anywhere you find podcasts. If you would like to rate Spoiler Piece Theater, give us a review. That would be delightful. You can do it at ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece, or you can do it at Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. Although, maybe don't do Spotify because they sort of support fucking right-wing
Oh
bullshit.
God, yeah, they
Um,
support ICE, so fuck them.
yeah, so there's that. But otherwise, do what you do. And you can, I don't need to tell you all the places you can find Spoiler Piece Theater. If you would like to get in touch with us, our email address is spoilerpiece@gmail.com. We no longer have a phone number because oopsie. But send us a note. Tell us what you think. Go to the socials, which is Spoiler Piece Theater on Instagram. No, sorry, it's Spoiler Piece on Instagram. It's Spoiler Piece on Threads. It's Spoiler Piece on Blue Sky. It's Spoiler Piece Theater on Facebook. Our website, spoilerpiece.com. The point is, you can fucking get in touch with us. So, and there's some other stuff too. We got merch. We got blah, blah, blah. We have our Patreon where we discussed Deadly Blessing, which was I can't remember the last time I had that much fun talking about like any of the
That was
movies that we do.
so much fun.
It's such a
Yeah.
riot. So
It was great to watch, great, even better to talk about.
I'm probably overselling it, but like really, it was
I know.
fucking great.
I feel like if people listen to that, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, I need to watch Deadly Blessing. This might be the greatest movie ever." And they watch it and be like, "What were those two talking
I know,
about?"
and it's like, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you saw it and you were watching it, going like, "What the fuck am I watching?" But in a good way.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
you would be like, "Oh, sure, I get it." So that's where we're coming from.
That definitely encapsulates the experience of watching that movie.
For sure. I mean, how long is that barn sequence when Sharon Stone is trapped in the barn?
Oh my God, she's trapped in the barn for so
She's
long.
trapped in the barn forever. She even leaves the barn and props the door open and gets trapped again.
Again.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so mad we didn't talk about that on Patreon.
I know. I didn't think about it until just this moment.
That barn
So,
scene's
oh,
amazing.
so great. Anyway,
Ah.
that's the show. My name is David Riedel. You can follow me on Twitter. No, I'm not on Twitter anymore. Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Threads. I'm Dave C's Movies. No, I'm David M. Riedel at Blue Sky. What the fuck ever. Just Google my name and movies and it'll come up. I'm also a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
And my name is Megan Kearns. I write and podcast for In Session Film. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-host of the Slashers podcast, and a member of Gallica. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter at Opinion S World, or on Instagram and Letterboxd at The Opinion S.
Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.